Perfect. Hello, everybody. My name is Enrique Pavlioglou. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for this webinar, for learning a little bit more about Checkups' technology. And to get started, I would like to talk a little bit about myself and a brief overview of what Checkups is. But before we dive into that, let's cover some procedural items that all webinars should have. If you have any questions about the webinar, please submit them via your Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and I will be more than happy to address them as soon as the presentation is over. We will have about 10 good minutes for questions and answers, and of course, if we spill over, that's fine. From beginning to end, this webinar should last about 45 minutes, and it will also, all of it will be recorded. So if you want a copy of it, or if you need anything, just let us know and we'll be more than happy to shoot it over. So again, my name is Enrique Pavlioglou, and I am the founder and CEO of San Antonio-based Checkups. I was born here in San Antonio, Texas. I even went to the University of Texas here in San Antonio. And while I was in college, which not too long ago, I had a minor run-in with the law, and it was actually obstruction of highway, if you want to know. And I think that revealed to me a couple of inefficiencies that the criminal justice system had that negatively impacted both offenders and civil servants. This experience led me to search for ways to simplify the overall process for others, to make it more streamlined and cost-effective for both the offenders and the counties. So eventually, in 2017, I launched Checkups to bring this idea to life. And in 2019, we participated in a 6-week program for startups here in San Antonio and secured seed funding for our tech business. Since then, the company has grown rapidly. We have had a lot of great success, and we are now working with some of the major counties in Texas. And currently, as of today, we have more than 1,000 individuals being monitored and supervised by the Checkups' technology. But don't let me get ahead of myself. Why don't we talk a little bit about the Checkups? I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. So hopefully everybody can see, and if you can't see, just let somebody know, or me. Using the cloud to track locations of individuals. So, an overview of Checkups. Checkups tracks and monitors the locations of individuals under community supervision through a cloud-based application installed on any smartphone device. That means any Android or any iPhone. So I think it's 100% of phones sold last year here in the US. Our intuitive app and dashboard allows civil servants in the criminal justice system to easily manage data, track locations, and view compliance of all of those under community supervision, and all of this in real time. Checkups eliminates the need for in-person check-ins, greatly reducing travel, of course, and supervision costs, as well as time spent on check-ins, all of it with proven results. Checkups has been especially important during this COVID-19 pandemic, as it has allowed parole officers and probation officers to conduct virtual check-ins for low-risk or medium-risk individuals to better adhere to social distancing protocols, which can actually help the spread of the virus. So here are just some of the main features that Checkups boasts. Remote check-ins, of course, that's kind of our idea. Chat features, so supervisors and supervisees can always stay in touch at all times. We have appointment data always set in, and automatic alerts. That means any type of court dates, appointment dates, agendas, anything like that, they'll always be automatically reminded of when it is and when they should be there by any time. Of course, report capabilities, which I will go in a little bit further. But what we offer is we allow every supervisor to just select the fields they want, and that way they can just print everything out and just have everything really fast. Fast access to data, real-time location data of any of the devices that are in your account, tracking data, and all this tracking data can then be put into heat maps or timelines. This is very important if you start wanting to see, where a person is hanging out, where they're not supposed to be. Maybe you start seeing that, hey, he's hovering around his ex's house, something like that, and you can easily spot it through our system. Geo-fencing alerts. This is actually something we're very excited about here at Checkups. And what we allow is for you to create geo-fences or geo-restrictions. So if somebody were to get out of a specific place, you would get an alert. And if he goes near maybe X's house or a bar or something like that, you also get alerts immediately. Custom curfew schedules. So this is great if you have a certain population that needs to be at home by 10, maybe some at 11, or maybe just a couple of curfews at home. This way you can actually customize and set them up yourselves. The platform is very user-friendly. Everything's very straightforward. Everything, of course, is cloud-based storage, so it can be accessed from anywhere that you have access to the internet. And it's a very secure platform. So now that everybody understands a little bit more about Checkups and its features, let me go ahead and give you actually a live demo of how it works. Let me go. Share. Perfect. So hopefully everybody can see my screen again. And this is actually a live demonstration of how the system works in real time. So first of all, you'll have your list of everything that's going on. If you go to end users, you will be able to see that this is the end user that I always use for the demo. And here's my name. Here's how many curfews and check-ins I have. And my court date is more than 7 days away, so it's in green. If it's less than 7, yellow. So we try to color code everything for you guys, so it's just at a glance you can see it. So we chose 4 specific things that we would like to talk to you about today. And we're going to go through check-ins, curfews, geo-restrictions, and those famous reports I talked about. So from here, all you would have to do is see the one that you would like to add. So I want to manage Enrique Pavlioglou, which would be me. I just click on manage. And from here, I would just select what I wanted to add. So first of all, let's go in adding a check-in. So I would click on check-in, and I'll be able to see a schedule of any check-ins that this person or individual already has. And from here, if you look at the top left, it just says added check-in. You see this pop-up come up, and from here, you're able to select frequency, which can be weekly, every 2 weeks, or once a month. If let's say it's a low-risk individual, I only want them to check in on Mondays, or maybe it's a very high-risk individual, and I want them to check in every day. From here, then I just select the hour I want them to check in. I want this person to check in every day at noon. And he has a tolerance of 30 minutes to check in. And of course, this tolerance will be taken into account later on when we score them. That way you know if this person is doing things correctly or not. Then you just hit save. And that will automatically be created inside the system. So let's say, and then if you were to not want them anymore, just click delete, delete. And that's it. This person already has, it will be reminded of everything. Now let's go back to end users. And from here, let's manage a curfew. So what we do is now you hit manage, and instead of check-in, now we're going to select a curfew. Same thing as the previous one. Here we'll be able to see any curfews that this person currently has. And we're going to add a new one by just clicking add curfew at the top left. And here you're actually going to see a map of this person's geo-fenced area, as well as the frequency. So let's say I want to know where this person is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 2200 hours with a tolerance of 15 minutes. So I'll leave it like that. And in this map, I can actually select a point on the map. Let me zoom in. And here, I don't want him, I think let's say his house is right here. I click on it, add that point. That way, if he does not check in at least 100 feet away from this point, you're going to get a notification that this person was not where he was supposed to be when he checked in. Of course, if he doesn't do it, you'll get a notification as well. Just hit save. And as you can see, 433 Caton Avenue has been saved on his schedule. So everything's good to go. If this person's complied and you want to take that off, you just go back, delete, and that person does not have to comply with that curfew anymore. Now let's go back to end users. And from here, we'll actually add a geo restriction. This was something, like I said, we are very happy with how this is working. And let's go add a geo restriction. And like the other ones, it's just add a geo restriction. You will see my Sorry about that, guys. You will see my geofence, of course. And all I have to do is select a point. I can actually search for bars, schools, anything so it appears on the map. This we base off Google Maps, so anything that appears in Google Maps should appear on here. Let's say I just want to click on this point. Do I want to add this point? Yes. And I do not want this person within 500 feet of this area. So we just select the radius and we click save. So whenever this device goes anywhere near, well, actually 500 feet near 150 Inez Avenue, San Antonio, Texas, you will automatically be alerted. This person will be alerted as well that he is either outside of his geofence or within a restricted area. So he can also, leave the area as well. And now, last but not least, let's go to our famous reports. So like I was saying, what we did is, since we have a lot of counties using our system, we just allowed you guys to actually just select the stuff you need. I just want to know maybe a report of everybody's name, their appointment date, and their court date. I can even filter by date if I need anything, then click filter by date, and then just download. That way, if I just have something to report to the judge, maybe a violation log, anything like that, I can just print it out and hand it in. And now that you've seen how this works on this end, I would actually like to show you how easy it is for the supervisor, for the offender as well. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Click share on my phone. So now you should actually be able to look at my phone. I'm going to click on the Checkups app. And as you can see, my history is always there. So if they need to go in and out, any check-ins that I have, or maybe that just anything that I sent. So for all they have to do is click on that C. It will prompt them to take a beautiful selfie in my office. Press OK. See the map information. And then you just hit send. So you've now just checked in successfully with your admin. Click home and you're good to go. Let me go back. And of course, I would like to show you exactly, let me share screen on here. Share screen. Now I would like to show you exactly how that check-in would appear for the supervisor's end. So they would go back to end users, and instead of clicking manage, you click on tracking. Once you're in the tracking section, you'll be able to see this. So this one was sent quite a while ago. If I click attend, I'll be able to see exactly where I took that picture. I can zoom out or zoom in, look at the picture that I sent and compare it to his original picture to see, okay, maybe this is him, this is not him. If they ever were to send a signature in, you can select either a physical one with their hand or just a couple of questions. And I can accept or deny this. So just for the exercise, I'm going to accept this picture and it will be approved. Any pendings, of course, will show pending. And just like anything else, we color code things for you. This one hasn't been done. Yellow means, they might have, we approved it, but he wasn't inside his zone, things like that. And green means most of everything was pretty good. So of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of functionality and how much you can do with the system. A lot of things can be customized. As you can see, the app is very user-friendly for offenders, and the dashboard is very convenient and streamlined, as well as customizable for the supervisors. The latter in particular is something that we've heard is very helpful from several counties we're currently working with. So now I'm sure you guys are all wondering about security, which is natural. This day and age is very important to be secure. So now let's talk a little bit about security. So the software requires a real-time selfie of the offender and does not allow uploading of pictures from cell phone camera roll or reel or anything like that. That way, there is really no way to cheat the system. You either take the picture at that moment or you just don't send your check-in at all and your supervisor will be notified. So the only way that we figured out is if they have an identical twin. So that's just one of the questions that you might want to ask. The data is cloud-based and thus less vulnerable to system failures. We host everything through Amazon Secure Platform, and they have a 99.97 uptime. So that's pretty good. And plus, the platform is continuously tested to ensure data is kept safe and secure. This is a very big top priority for us. Most importantly, Checkup only uses basic information such as individual's name, birth date, court dates, all of it that can be found in public record. So there is really no risk to individuals' private information through Checkups. We also highly encrypt all communications. So anything sent from the supervisor to the supervisee and back, and even the customer service, because the supervisees or the offenders can actually chat with us, customer service, if they need any help. We encrypt all that communication. We securely store all of the information. Our AI is trained to prevent tampering of information. We cross-reference cell tower location data against the GPS location data sent. That way we make sure that everything was done correctly. We secure from malicious data attacks. We use high-end infrastructure used by Netflix, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the big players. We have firewall denial of service attack prevention. We use profiling and ranking just to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Secure server to avoid disruption, of course, and elastic growth to accommodate demand. So you'll never have, oh, there's too many people on and it's slowing down. That doesn't happen. So now let's talk a little bit about the economic impact for the average American and from the offender's perspective. So the average community supervision period in the US is 22 months. The average check-in per person on community supervision is twice per month. The average hourly wage in the US is $19.93. The average unpaid working hours per check-in, or the time that they could have been working, is 5 hours per check-in. The monthly supervision fee is about $60. And the average transportation cost spent per check-in is $20. So all of that summed up for the 22 months looks at $6,452. That's a lot of money for the average on community supervision program. And if they were to be using Checkups, those 2 average check-in per month, well, it can actually be unlimited check-ins and curfews per month, since it's pretty easy. That 5 hours average paid working hours per check-in, well, actually offenders don't have to stop earning while they're checking in. Why? Because it only takes 5 to 10 seconds. $20 per average transportation, no need to spend on transportation. You can actually check in from wherever you are. So instead of $6,400, we're looking at $1,320. That's 80% less economic impact for the average offender. And it's not just the offender. Now let's look at it from the supervisor's perspective. Checkups dramatically decreases the overburdensome workload for civil servants in the criminal justice system by automating the whole process of monitoring. Removing the need for face-to-face meetings can liberate approximately 70% of the civil servants' time. It's quite a bit. And allow them to focus on supervising higher-risk individuals, as well as ensuring a more effective reinsertion of all individuals back into the community. Finally, as mentioned earlier, with all of us focusing on social distancing to reduce the spread of the coronavirus, Checkups is an ideal solution to keep both offenders and supervisors safe. And now let's jump into the municipalities or state's perspective. Checkups is a less invasive and far more cost-effective solution than any alternatives currently in use, such as ankle monitors and other available hardware. Checkups allows municipality to significantly increase monitoring capabilities with the same installed capacity. Cost per check-in is reduced at 97%. Streamlined check-ins allows 70% more time to focus on safe reintegration of high-risk individuals and into the community. And cloud-based Checkups easily integrates into current systems and is less vulnerable to system failures. So if you already have a system, we can help you guys out, and we can work with that system that you have. So here are some of the counties we are currently working with, and if you need any information from them, just let us know. And here at Checkups, we actually wanted to show you guys an impact example that a state can have or a county can have. So we chose Maryland. Only 30% of individuals in community supervision programs are required to complete at least 1 check-in per month. That means 12,000 individuals are doing face-to-face check-ins per month, and it's only managed by around 300 supervisors. So that's quite a bit. They spend around 4,000 hours per month by supervisors for all this managing of check-ins. And the cost for face-to-face check-in is set around $8.70. And by adopting Checkups, Maryland can actually request check-ins from all of their offenders. With the same installed capacity, and we cannot stress this enough, Maryland can manage 480,000 monthly check-ins. Checkups can reduce the time spent managing check-ins to only 100 working hours. And of course, the cost per check-in is then reduced to only 22 cents. So I always like to brag a little bit about the stuff we do. And since I am from San Antonio and we work with Bexar County, which is San Antonio, I like to share a little bit about how we can actually help even more if you guys have special programs. So Bexar County has over 10,000 individuals in community supervision. And beside us helping their 60 plus supervisors, better manage offenders, Checkups also provides with the following. We help them with video question enabled self-registration. So we allow individuals to register themselves up for checkups, but the county, especially now with social distancing, has to have slides, videos, questions. So we're able to put those on the checkup system. And that way, when they enroll, they can actually watch all the videos and do all the intake forms, and then just send all their information to their supervisors. Automatic intake or question forms. This was really nice with keeping up with the individuals, since once a month, they can send them questions like, do you have a job? Would you like help finding a job? Just anything you can really think of. And that way you can start getting a feel better for the individuals. And of course, with big data, you can start, doing a bunch of things with this. Mass messages. This is something I am very proud of my county for doing. What they actually do is anybody that has a nice story to share, or that has gone through something and they've surpassed it, they actually make a nice little video. And this way we can actually send the link to the video and they can watch it on their phones and they can, do more things with it. And just imagine, if you're going through a really rough time and you just watch somebody that went through the same process, went through the same rough time, but was actually able to surpass it and get better, it might just be that little, extra push that some people might need. And of course, phone systems. So we leveraged some of our contacts for a small population here in Bexar County of homeless people that actually needed cell phones so that they could help them out with their mental health problems and just tracking them in general. And we also helped them out with that. And so across the board, our technology has garnered positive feedback from users on actually both ends. Through our customer support team, we make sure we stay in tune with the customers and their feedback so that we can continuously make improvements and update our technology, making it the best and most efficient it can be to assist your work. Here are some remarks from supervisors. And something that we actually think is also very, very important. Here are some remarks from people that are actually using the app. Well, thank you very much. And now let's jump into a little bit of a Q&A. Perfect. So I do have one question that says, how do I get a notification? How do I get a notification? And notifications can be, it's either on the phone, they get push notifications, so they'll be able to see it just like any other notification. And for the actual person, what if it doesn't have a phone? Okay, so we can help you guys out finding people that have phones, or well, they can't really use our system. We're mainly low risk and medium risk, and what we want them to do is, if they do have a phone, well, they can use our system. And the other way of getting notification was the supervisors get emails. So anything that they need to see, look at, it'll be in their email. We also, about the phones, we also work with any phone. So it doesn't really have to be a $1,000 iPhone or, this brand new notepad it can actually be a phone that they pick up at Walmart for about 20 bucks. And lines, I think, go for $10 or $15 a month now. And as long as they have internet and they can continue chat with you guys, that's all we really need. So you're looking at a phone that probably costs around $30 a month, or probably less. Any other questions? Sure. Is there any specifics that you would like me to go into the security of the platform? I mean, let me go back to the slide so you can actually see that. Oh, 1 second so I can go back. I'm sorry, that didn't show up. So yes, it's actually very safe for the users and the counties. You actually, as a county, you have to give them their own username and password. They cannot just, create their own things. So they don't, you don't have an offender falling into some other state or something like that. And as far as for the county, please explain again. Sure. And as far from the county, it's also very safe because so the biggest thing, the threat would be if anybody's trying to upload too many things. And since we do have a trained AI, if somebody's trying to mess with the system, you'll automatically be notified and all those things taken away. So you don't really have to worry about, we worry about the safety of the product. And let me explain again from the perspective of the offender. So I'm just going to go through it really quick. So the offender technically, it lasts 22 months. They do 2 times an average check-in per month. It's about $20. That's the average right now. Average paid working hours are 5 hours per check-in, unpaid, sorry. Average monthly supervision fee is around $60 here in the US, and the average cost for transportation is around $20. So that in total gives us $6,452. That's the economic impact for the average American in community supervision program. And if they were to be using checkups, well, you can do a lot more than just 2 average check-ins. You can actually do unlimited check-ins and curfews. Why? Because they can do it from their phone from anywhere. Those 5 hours, offenders don't have to stop earning because it only takes them 10 seconds. And the average cost of transportation is reduced to 0. Why? Because they can check in from wherever they are. And that gives us a grand total of $1,320 for the 22 months in supervision. That's 80% less economic impact for the average offender. Sure. So a little bit more about the people that are using it. So we do have over 25 counties here in Texas using it, and they came to accept it just by, first of all, trying it out. We have not had anybody return the service, which is great, really nice and really great to say. And we do offer like free trials. We help you guys out with teaching your supervisors, things like that. And it's just so easy to use that it just comes to be, and it's pretty simple. It takes you probably, I would say, I haven't had an officer take more than 20-30 minutes to really have them explain it to me, which is really nice. And of course, we have videos, demos, and a whole suite of other things that we can help them out with. Any other questions? Can someone cheat the system? So currently, no. The only real way to cheat the system is if you have an identical twin, which is kind of one of the questions that we ask when they're filling out any type. And that's one of the questions that we do really tell you guys to please, ask. If they do have an identical twin, you have but you have a problem on your hand. Maybe they're sending the twin in to check in, right? And how much does it cost? That really depends on the counties. So we can have the county pay for it or the actual individual pay for it. And if you would, if we can set up a meeting so we can show you how exactly that would work. Most counties I can tell you that most counties do a mix of both. They have a certain population that pays for their own checkups use, and then they have a certain population that the county will actually give them the license to use checkups. How important is this with COVID right now? Well, to be very honest, I think this was important before COVID. COVID has just made it even more important because we do need to stay away and just have everybody be safe. And of course, being safe also implies that people do need to be responsible and just continue checking on their supervisors. And if we can allow a system that will help them out with that, I think it's very important during COVID. Any other questions? Nope. Well, of course, if you have any other questions or you need anything from us, please let us know. And which time does it save supervisors? So it saves them about 70% of time. So just imagine any time they would have to go and see somebody during a check-in, which probably takes anywhere, 20, 30 minutes, even more. They save all that time by just looking at a picture and just accepting or deny it. And if they do have a denial, the end user will get a message why it was denied, if you need to take another one, and that way you keep the flow going at all times. Sounds good. So if you do have any more questions after this, you can always email me or email us at info@checkups.us. You can always call the office number, which is on here. And I think that's it. Thank you very, very much, guys, for assisting.